And we're very delighted to have in the studio with us Kevin Matheson, who is a violinist, a concertmaster of the Tahoe Philharmonic, and the winner in a couple of years ago of the Charleston International Music Competition. He's a violinist, won that first prize. Kevin, it's wonderful to have you here.
Oh, it's great being here.
And where are you joining us from today?
I'm home-based from Roanoke, Virginia, but now I'm a regular out in Lake Tahoe, out in Utah and California. Thanks to the Sound Espressivo competition I played a couple years back, I got connected with Jack Price and Price Attractions. Now I'm on the roster there, and because of that connection, one of my first engagements with Price Attractions was to be soloist with the Tahoe Philharmonic, and so with that, then the orchestra was in need of a new concertmaster, and so the conductor invited me to join the orchestra as concertmaster, and so now I'm a regular, performing several times per season with the Tahoe Philharmonic, and also as regular soloist. And not only that, the orchestra went on tour of Croatia just at the end of April, and so I was soloist and concertmaster for that tour. We played Bach Brandenburg Fourth Concerto, Vivaldi's Winter, Bach the Double Violin Concerto. I've played the Beethoven Concerto, the Mendelssohn Concerto with the Tahoe Philharmonic, Sarasate's Carmen Fantasy, and Sarasate's Zigeunerweisen. So it's been quite a wonderful collaboration, and we have I just got back this week from being out in Lake Tahoe. We had also Jennifer Savage, wonderful pianist from the Price Attractions roster, joining us, and we're already looking forward to bringing her back next season for concerts as well. So
I want to rewind this a little bit because it's quite a story. If I'm just going to repeat this so that in case anybody missed this. So you were a guest on Sound Espressivo, where you were hooked up with Jack Price, who was connected with Sound Espressivo, and you became a client of his. You're on his roster,
yes,
and you got booked at the Tahoe Philharmonic in Lake Tahoe, right?
mm-hmm.
And they liked you so much, you're now the concertmaster.
Yes.
So Sound Espressivo has played an important role in your career.
Absolutely. I'm very thankful for all that the virtual concert halls and Sound Espressivo have done.
Yeah. Now, how did the Tahoe Philharmonic get invited to go to Croatia? How did that come about?
So the conductor of the Tahoe Philharmonic, James Ravi, has over the years planned, every 2 years he plans a trip to go to Europe. So he takes a small group of the orchestra and the chorus and friends and family who want to join on tour to Europe, because over in Europe those concert halls and those churches are so amazing. There's so much, they're steeped in classical music history and tradition, and so it's a really special experience. So just on this tour, our first stop was in Trieste, Italy, and so we were playing there in this church that was built hundreds of years ago. It's a beautiful Catholic church, beautiful acoustics, and so I was standing there, and as I was performing Vivaldi's Winter, I was like, wait, I'm holding a violin that was made back in the 1600s in Italy. I'm in a Catholic church where Vivaldi, the Red Priest, okay, I wasn't over in Venice, but still, like, I just got goosebumps. Like, this is so special to kind of like time travel with music. So, not only were we in Trieste, then we went down the coast. We stopped in Opatia, and then Split and Dubrovnik. We had concerts in each of those towns, and it was just such a wonderful trip. And he's planning 2 years from now, we're going to be going to Portugal. So,
wow. That's amazing. Because to be honest, I'm not very familiar with the Tahoe Philharmonic. I'm not sure I've ever heard it. I didn't know there was a Tahoe Philharmonic, and now you're telling me that it's touring Europe and giving these wonderful concerts. And you and Jennifer just performed for 2 weeks. You said, was that in Croatia or was that in Tahoe?
That was in Lake Tahoe, or actually, we had concerts around
Right.
Lake Tahoe and in Reno. So we had 4 concerts with the orchestra. Jennifer was playing the Grieg First Piano Concerto. I was playing Sarasate's Zigeunerweisen. We played Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and Mozart's Marriage of Figaro Overture. It was a wonderful run of concerts, well received by the audience. We also had 2 chamber music house concerts as well, so it was a very fun collaboration.
And did you play the Beethoven Concerto with the orchestra as well?
Yes, a year ago, I played Beethoven Concerto and Beethoven's First Symphony, and the orchestra is a smallish orchestra, and that's why my first time out there, the conductor had asked me if I would sit concertmaster the orchestra, and very quickly I built a wonderful rapport with the musicians. It's just a very friendly group of people, all the staff and the audience and the members of the orchestra, and so we just built up the wonderful camaraderie, and so they just keep inviting me back, and I feel like part of the family now.
You mentioned that you have an older violin. I see it's in your hand. What year was that? Was your Can you hold it up?
So this violin was made around 1680 in Cremona. It's hard to know who exactly made it when they're this old, but every day when I take it out of the case, I just think about how lucky I am to be playing on something that really could be or should be in a museum, but it gets to make music with me every day, and so
I see.
I get to make it sing.
You don't have your bow with you, do you?
It's over here.
Can we hear it? Would that
Sure.
Is it in tune?
That's a little bit of Jules Massenet's Meditation from Thais, which I'll be playing with the Tahoe Philharmonic for the end of July. I'm going back in 2 weeks for their Broadway opera and patriotic songs program, and I'll be playing Souvenir d'Amérique, written by the Belgian violinist Henri Vieuxtemps. It's basically variations on Yankee Doodle, which would be very appropriate for celebrating America's 250th anniversary.
Right.
I'm super excited because I've only played it as violin and piano, and so the conductor, James Ravi of the Tahoe Philharmonic, had it orchestrated, so we'll be able to play that with the orchestra. And then at the end of July, I'll be back out in Tahoe for our nights at Tahoe Opera. I was there last year playing Carmen, Sarasate's Carmen Fantasy. We did excerpts from Carmen, so we had singers. We interspersed. A singer would sing the aria, and then I would play that next variation of the Carmen Fantasy, and it was this wonderful back and forth. So this year we're going to be doing excerpts from Mozart's Marriage of Figaro and other favorite operas, and I'll be playing Meditation from Thais, which actually that solo has a choir part in the background with orchestra, so I'm really looking forward to doing that.
This says something about the depth of the American orchestra scene, because while little old me has never heard of the Tahoe Philharmonic, it's obviously a very good orchestra that's touring Europe every 2 years. And we just are so lucky in the United States. I don't think people realize how strong the orchestral scene is in this country. And as the years have gone by, I mean, you can talk about the Chicago Symphony, the New York Philharmonic, but when you hear the Milwaukee Symphony or the Omaha Symphony or the Tahoe Symphony, you're talking about very, very, very good orchestras.
Yes, and as time has gone on in the economy and stuff, many orchestras have folded. So those orchestras have kept it in the black and kept going. It's really valuable for the American population and concert goers, keeping classical music alive.
The writer Joseph Horowitz, who you may know, who's written so many books and is a critic, his favorite orchestra in the whole world is the South Dakota Symphony. Because of everything they're doing, and they're embedded in the community, and they're a very, very good orchestra, but they're working with Native Americans, and so it just again goes to show the depth of the strength of American music. We sometimes think about it's failing and the audience and this and that, but in reality, it's actually quite a strong. It's not that it doesn't have struggles, and going to Croatia, requires quite a bit of fundraising, but it's still a very dynamic scene. So tell me, Kevin, what is beyond what you're doing this summer? What does the future hold for you?
Well, about 2 years ago, I also started a collaboration with a pianist based in Seattle, Washington. And because of that collaboration, he was particularly interested in the violin sonatas of George Enescu, Romanian composer of the early 20th century. And so he's come to Virginia, we've performed together, and then a friend of his was at Princeton University, and so we've performed this program of George Enescu's second and third violin sonatas at Princeton University. We've played them out in Seattle. Our concerts in Seattle were so well received that we now have a regular partnership with the Alliance Française in Seattle. So in March, I was out in Seattle playing a program of French and French-connected composers. And so in November, I'll be flying back to Seattle to present a program for the American Romanian Cultural Society, a program of Romanian music and Romanian-inspired music, but also Queen Marie of Romania. Back after World War I, in 1926, she came on a trans-American train ride, touring America, going out to Oregon, and then stopping in Seattle, Washington, because at the Paris Peace Talk, she had met an American business owner who was based out in Oregon. And so because the American Romanian Cultural Society is planning a big celebration festivities, they asked my pianist and me to be part of that and do a whole concert, sort of like because Queen Marie was a big supporter of the arts and would have concerts at one of her castles. George Enescu actually often stayed at one of Queen Marie's residences, and composed his third violin sonata, which is titled "In the Romanian Folk Style." He wrote that at one summer at one of her villas, and that was written 100 years ago in 1926. So it's celebrating its 100th anniversary.
Well, congratulations. Very, very exciting. Well, Kevin Matheson, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck with all of your future endeavors and your ongoing work with the Tahoe Philharmonic. I look forward to hearing them someday.
Oh, thanks. It's great talking with you.
Thank you.